In this video, I'm going to cover some of the top funnel strategies that you can use for 7 and 8 figure scale, and the pros and cons of each of them and how each of them work. And these are the top funnels that I would recommend choosing from based on your skill sets and your level of expertise, and how, what type of business you have, what level of skill set you have as a marketer, and all the pros and cons. The good news is you can, if you want, at scale, use multiple of these funnels at the same time. You don't have to, let's say you scale your business all the way up to $1 million a month or higher. You don't have to only be using one specific funnel. You can, at that level of scale, use multiple to get yourself to that point by having multiple offers, multiple entry points into your business. And that's totally fine. These are some of the ones that you can use and the reasons why these are so good. Okay, now, before I say that, I will say it's very, very important. If you're only doing like 50 grand a month or 100K a month or 200K a month or something like that, or even like 3 or 4, to be honest, you should not focus on a bunch of different funnel strategies, to be honest, because you want to think of each specific funnel like starting a mini business. And as you know, starting a business takes a lot of effort and mental bandwidth and focus. Same thing with validating a funnel with paid ads and getting a funnel to be profitable and working consistently with paid ads, right? At least if you haven't validated it yet. When I say validate, I'm saying this is just an idea. We haven't tested this yet, all the way to like actually getting it working and getting working consistently. You don't want to try to test 3 different funnels at the same time. That doesn't make sense. For the same reason you wouldn't start 3 different businesses at the same time unless you're Elon Musk and you're a freaking, crazy person. Okay? So with that in mind, let me dive into this. So the first and most common type of funnel, and by the way, I'm going to pretend like you have a high ticket offer, the person watching this. If you sell like an e-commerce product, or if you sell a lower ticket thing, then this isn't going to be that applicable to you. At least not all this information. It's still good for you to watch because I think you should absolutely have a high ticket offer or multiple high ticket offers that you can send them to. But this is going to be mainly with the context of you have a high ticket offer for, at least $3,000 or $5,000 or higher that you're going to sell people to, even if your front end offer isn't a high ticket offer that you sell people to first. So anyway, the first and most common one, especially in like the high ticket space on the internet or any like high ticket services, is what we call a call funnel. And I gave you this example in one of the past videos from one of our clients. This is a simple example of a call funnel where they land on a landing page with a headline, a VSL, and an application below, where they get redirected after the application to schedule a call with the sales team. And then the sales team contacts those leads, nurtures them, gets them on calls, and then works the deals to close deals. That's the call funnel. Okay. Now, this is really good for offers, like I said, that are $3,000 bare minimum or higher. I prefer only to run this for like $5,000 price points and higher, because remember in the last video, target CPA, the target CPA is tight on a $3,000 product. It's not that much harder to sell a $5,000 or $6,000 product than it is to sell a $3,000 product. So having a 5 or 6 or higher price point, it gives us more room in the economics that I showed you in the last video, to be able to make the marketing metrics work. So, but bare minimum $3,000 price point or higher. The pros of this funnel are it's relatively very easy to set up. It's not that complicated to set up, right? Like, this is the funnel that you should absolutely be running if you're a beginner or like an intermediate person when it comes to marketing, and because it's just a lead generation funnel. Like it takes a lot of pressure off of your marketing skills, and it puts that pressure onto the sales team to a degree. So long story short, it's easier to book the calls right? It's easier to generate the calls and the traffic to your sales team, but the sales team needs to do a little bit more work to actually convert people. Okay. Now on my screen here, I'm going to give you just a quick lesson on how this funnel should flow. So they see an ad on Facebook as an example. This is the ad. Let's say it's a video ad. When they click on that ad, they're going to go to a landing page with a headline on it, a video that gives them more context on your offer, just like the one I showed you right here. Now, just for context, you don't have to have a video on this page. You can do it without a video on the page. They're just a few different variations of how you can run a call funnel. You can run a call funnel with just a simple application on the landing page. I'll actually give you an example real quick. This is an example of one of our clients' landing pages. It's super simple. I mean, show me a simpler landing page than this, right? But this landing page works really well. Now, this landing page, there's no VSL on it, but it still works because we give them the context in the video ads before they click to this page. We give the context around the offer in the video ads before they come to this page, if that makes sense. So you don't need to have a video on the landing page. You can test both. So on this page, typically you're going to have a headline, a VSL, which is basically a video sales letter is what that means. It's a sales video basically. And then below you're going to have your application embedded on that page, or a button that sends them to a Typeform application, a Typeform or Jotform application, like I mentioned in the last video. Okay. Now, based on the questions in this application, if you use the conditional logic that I told you, they'll get sent to one or multiple pages after this. So if they're qualified, they'll get sent to a page that is the schedule page, where they're going to schedule a call. This is a calendar that I'm drawing, by the way. It's not a very good calendar, but that is what I was referring to when I showed you this page. For example, this is the scheduling page where they're going to schedule calls after they qualify in the application. Okay. Now, if they get disqualified based on the application, we might send them to a DQ page or a downsell page. So a DQ page can just be like a dummy page that just doesn't let them book a call. So there might be a video on the page, but there's no ability to schedule a call on that page because they were disqualified. So you might say something along the lines of, in that video, thanks so much for applying. Our team's going to reach out to you as soon as possible to see if you're qualified, for the program or to proceed. You're not going to let them self-book a call on the closing team's calendar. Long story short. Okay. In that case, you want to have appointment setters calling all those people to filter through them to see who's actually qualified and who's not qualified. Because I will tell you right now, not a lot of people lie in these applications. I'll just be very direct with you. A lot of people lie in these applications. Okay. So you still want to call all the leads with a setting team. And then leads that are found to be qualified, they can set those calls to the closers after doing a triage call to qualify them and vet them out, etc., to see if they're qualified. Okay. The other way you can do this is you can send them to a DQ, not a DQ page. You can send them to a downsell page. So if you have, a $497 offer that's like just a standalone course, that's like a breakout course, that they can get as a standalone course instead of doing the high ticket product. You can redirect the DQ'd, the disqualified leads from that application to a sales page where you have details, a video, and then selling that lower ticket offer. And that can actually help you liquidate some of the ad spend, cover some of the ad spend by just getting some of those, low ticket purchases, right? Which is that's a good idea if you do have that. If you don't already have a course or something that you can downsell to them, I would not put the effort into doing that until the funnel overall is working, because you have to put a decent amount of effort in to create a product like that. Okay. After they book a call, they're going to go to a confirmation/thank you page where there's a headline, which basically says, congrats, your call is scheduled. Here's the next steps. You're going to have a confirmation video below, giving them context and instructions on what the next steps are, including, go to your email and accept the calendar invite. Make sure to respond to our text messages when we reach out to confirm the call time. Make sure to show up to the call with questions, and make sure you're at a computer in a quiet spot. All these things, and then below, what I recommend you do is having breakout videos and testimonial videos as well. That the testimonials are obviously just like giving their experience working with you. And the breakout videos, I recommend doing that. And those are FAQs. So you're answering common questions. And an example of that would be this page right here. Your call is scheduled. And then we have more information, right? Common questions. Is this a scam? What is this? Is the market too saturated? Why Amazon dropshipping versus Amazon FBA, etc., and more FAQs. Okay, that's an example of what you can do to get the leads consuming more content after they schedule the call. Okay, and I'm not gonna go into the whole sales process because I already went through a sales process video that you can watch, I believe, before this video. But essentially, those leads are nurtured to get onto the actual, Zoom call. And then that deal is nurtured to a close. Okay, and follow up and all that good stuff. Okay, this is the call funnel. It's a very simple funnel. It's not complicated, right? Now the next one is a live webinar / event funnel. Okay, now this is great if you're selling a mid to high ticket offer. So it could be a $500 plus offer, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, or you can even sell high ticket, just like you're doing with the call funnel, at $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, even $20,000. You can sell very high ticket stuff with webinars. The nuance is, if you're selling something high ticket, you're gonna at the end of the webinar or at the end of the live event, you're going to pitch them on booking a call, just like you would with a regular call funnel. If you're selling something for $500, for example, or $1,000, you would not do that. It wouldn't be worth the time to run to have a sales team fielding sales calls for a $500 or $1,000 or $2,000 product, to be honest. All right. Now, just to reiterate, live webinar / event funnel is just you're going to get on Zoom or some presentation platform, and you're going to throw an event or a workshop or a live training. A live webinar, for example, can be done once per week on a recurring basis. Or some people do what's called challenges, where they do a paid event that's like a 3-day event once per quarter, or maybe even once per month, where people actually pay for tickets to go to this event. And it's a whole event where you're teaching and selling at the end, and it's a whole shebang. Challenge event funnels are a little bit more complex. The live webinars, I would just do a live free webinar, and it's simpler. It's probably a 90-minute webinar or maybe a 2-hour webinar max. And again, you can sell a mid-ticket offer, or you can also sell a high-ticket offer. If you do a high-ticket offer, you would pitch at the end of the call to book a call with your sales team, and those sales calls will be fielded over the next week, for example. This is really good, mainly for people that are very, very, very good at presenting and selling live. Okay. This is best for people that have a track record and a history of doing live selling, like on webinars or like in-person events, right? This is not going to be very good for people that are not that good on video, right? So the pros are this webinar, these live events build rapport and trust very quickly, because it's like imagine being on a live webinar with me, like learning the stuff real time with me. That's very powerful. Builds trust and authority and builds rapport extremely quickly. Okay, you get to know the person, the owner, or whoever the talking head is that's doing the live event. Okay. The other pro is most of the selling is done in a one-to-many format instead of one-to-one on sales calls. So it's more efficient to sell one-to-many. Like imagine if I have 200 people on a damn webinar. That's the majority of the selling and the majority of the convincing, quote unquote, is done on that webinar because they're building trust with me, they're learning from me, etc. So when they book a call, if you're doing high ticket, if they book a call with your sales team or even yourself after being on a 90-minute webinar with you and you've done one-to-many, you've done a lot of the hardest part of the selling of like teaching and building rapport and like and all the teaching, right? On that one-to-many format, right? So you've built trust with them and you've warmed them up in a one-to-many format, which makes the one-on-one conversion, like sales call, a lot easier because they already like and trust you more than they likely will if they go straight through a call funnel from cold traffic. Cold traffic meaning people that don't know the brand yet. Okay. The cons of this are it is very difficult to get a live webinar to work, at least to the cold traffic level. It's easier to get if you have a big warm audience already. You can run some webinars to your warm audience. Those are fairly easy because a lot of them already like and trust you to a degree, right? From the cold traffic level, they're literally clicking on an ad and going to a landing page and registering on a landing page without knowing anything about you yet. At least a majority of them, right? So there's the first thing that makes it difficult is the show rate to the webinar because people that are from cold traffic are oftentimes not they're not familiar with you, so a lot of people won't show up if you don't have a really strict process, like a really dialed in process. And also, most people just think that they're better at presenting than they actually are. Doing live webinars and selling people is an art form. Like it's something you have to master. Most people that I've talked to that say that they're really good at presenting and selling on live, they're not actually that good, and they realize that after they talk to people from cold traffic on a live webinar. It's just difficult to pull off and actually make it work, which is why I said you need to be very good at presenting to do live events to cold traffic at least. So that's that. I'll give you a visual representation of what this looks like real quick on my screen here. Similar process. We go from ad on Facebook. We drive them to a page that is a registration page with a headline, maybe a video on it if you want, a VSL, and then details of what they're going to learn on the live event. Probably put the date at the top. The date at the top would be like, if you're doing something for real estate investors, free live workshop this Saturday at 9 p.m. Pacific time or 9 a.m. Pacific time for real estate investors, right? And then details about the event. Once they opt in and register, they get sent to a thank you page with a video giving them, just like very similar to the call funnel, with a video giving them some more context on what the next steps are and how to prepare for the event. Probably a headline at the top, and then maybe some testimonials and details about the event below that thank you page video. Okay. Then obviously, and then you're going to send, between the time of them registering and the actual webinar or event, in between here, you're going to send text messages and emails reminding them and providing value to them. And I actually recommend you have salespeople call all these people and confirm their attendance in between this time to increase the show rate percentage to the actual webinar. That's a huge needle mover that most people don't do, is having an appointment setting team calling and texting all the people that registered for the webinar and confirming their attendance. That's a huge pro tip, and it's very worth it. And that's aside from automated emails and text messages that get sent out reminding them about the event, right? And then at the end of the webinar, again, you're going to send them to, like live on the webinar, you're going to send them to a booking page or an application that leads to a booking page. Again, this is my calendar here, where they book a call, they get redirected to another thank you page, just like a regular call funnel, with the headline, the video, the breakout videos, and testimonials and case studies, etc. And then boom, same process as the call funnel from there. You get them on the Zoom call, and then you nurture them for a close. Okay. Now the last one is a low ticket funnel. This is the holy grail funnel. And the reason is because the whole point of the low ticket funnel is to liquidate your ad spend. Okay. Meaning, if I can sell a $27 starter kit or some sort of tool that helps them scratch their itch, like it solves a micro problem for them before we actually try to sell them the main high ticket program, right? And so this is meant to get people to buy from you first and like get value from you. But also the main thing from you as a marketer side's perspective, the main point of this is to liquidate the ad spend, right? So all of the leads that get sent that your sales team is dealing with are basically free or even profitable. You might even be profitable on the front end. Meaning you might spend $1 and get back $1.5 after they buy the low ticket products, right? So it gives you two benefits. Number one, you're dealing with people that already bought from you. They already pulled out their credit card and bought from you when you're trying to sell them their high ticket. And also, your ad spend is liquidated if this is done properly. Meaning all the leads are free. So this is why this is the most scalable funnel. Like a lot of the big gurus you've seen that are like internet marketers, they use this funnel because it's so scalable, because they can afford to spend more to acquire a customer because a lot of the ad spend is liquidated. All right. So the way this funnel looks now, just so you're aware, the con of this funnel is it's very difficult to get working compared to the call funnel, just to be honest, because you're getting people, you have to convince someone to pay you $27 or $47 and then also convince them to buy upsell low ticket products in the funnel without even talking to a human being, right? It takes a higher level of skill in terms of marketing and copywriting abilities. It's just harder in comparison. But on my screen here, I'm going to show you what this looks like. So basically, same thing, image or video ads on the ad platform. They get sent to a page with probably a sales video and long form copy on it. So you're going to have a headline, a video, and most likely you're going to have long form copy with a bunch of details on how it works, the benefits of this, etc. Okay. After you, and then when they are on this page, they will click to a checkout page where they will buy the $27 thing or the $47 thing. It could be a book. It could be a starter kit of some kind. Could be a masterclass like of courses, etc. And then after this, you want to send them to another page. We're going to sell them what's called an OTO, and then you're going to do another one, a second OTO. These OTOs are called one-time offers, where the whole point of these is to increase your average order value, right? So instead of just getting 27, some people are going to upsell to buy your $97 thing on this page. Obviously, you have to create these offers, and then they might say yes or no to this offer, but then you're going to send them to this next OTO page regardless, where you might sell them a $297 offer, and they get to choose yes or no. And then after they get through all these steps, you redirect them to the final thank you page, which is like, congratulations, your order is complete. This is your product. Okay. And then from there, you're going to upsell them. So you want your appointment setters calling all of them and booking them to either for themselves to do, either your closers can call them to book appointments for the high ticket offer on the sales calls, or you can have an appointment setting team that calls all the leads that come through this entire funnel and books them for the closers. Okay. And one pro tip, on this thank you page, you can actually have a VSL that basically says, hey, congrats on your purchase. If you're in this, if you just bought this, that means that you're looking to solve XYZ problem. If you want to solve it faster, we have a program that's for you. If you're one of those action takers that wants to solve it as soon as possible. And so you're basically doing a VSL on this page, and then you can have an application below the VSL, just like the call funnel, that qualifies them and sends them to a calendar page where they can book a call on their own after they bought the low ticket. So you can get calls that people book on their own, and you can also have your sales team. Your sales team should be calling all these leads and getting extra calls booked set to the closers. Okay. This is the holy grail funnel. All right. These are the three major ones that I would say that you should choose from. And for most of you, you're going to want to start with the call funnel, and then you can graduate to trying these other ones as you get more and more proficient and advanced at this internet marketing stuff. But yeah, this is the holy grail. If you're going to get one to work, if you're going to scale to like several $1 million a month, you're likely going to do it with a low ticket funnel because of how scalable it is. So hope this is insightful. I hope you guys like this video. Again, if you have any other questions about any of this, just reach out, let us know, and we will talk to you very soon. Bye.